My name's Chad Reid. I was planning on just trying to hit some key points, but I'm probably going to read this word for word. Um, I was involved in a accident on October 5th of last year that burned 17% of my body, mainly on my legs. I'm just wanting to share some information about the accident and show a few things that we are going to do to prevent it from happening again. I got together with another car on a restart, biked up on two wheels, slammed back down, and kept going. The next lap, a caution came out, and going down the back straightaway, my gauges started acting funny. Everything kind of started acting weird in the car, and then out of nowhere, fire went everywhere. From the time the fire started till the time it was actually put out was about a total of 15 seconds. I had flames going everywhere. I could not see anything, and I could not get the window net. I could not find the lever of the window net at all, so I couldn't get it down. In a panic, luckily I run a mesh style of window net, and I actually started climbing through the window net because I couldn't find it to get it down. And it was on fire, so I was actually able to get through it with the help of some track officials. So if you have to run a window net, I prefer to run that one if you have to. And safety officials can cut that a whole lot easier. If they can't get it down, they can cut that style a whole lot easier to get to you. On what actually started the fire was we had a hot wire come loose when I got in the wreck, and it bounced over. We have a steel braided fuel line that goes to the gauge. The electric line hit the steel braided fuel line and actually started spraying fuel, then bounced again and obviously created fire. I was in a panic and didn't realize that's what was happening, so I didn't shut the car off to help the fire from spraying. The guy that builds my cars, Curtis, has came up with a few different things we are going to start doing in my car and his. We went to a different gauge panel that doesn't have dummy lights. The dummy lights are built into it, so we don't have that extra wire. Plus, he found a fuel isolator from Quick Car so that fuel line comes from the carburetor to this isolator that goes under the hood, and then from there, from the isolator, it goes into the gauge, but it is filled with antifreeze from that point so that there's no fuel in the cockpit with me at all.
So just to talk about the gauges there real quick, this is one main reason why stepper motor gauges are a good thing. They're completely, they don't have any fuel or any kind of pressurized fluid that gets into the driver's compartment whatsoever. Those isolators work good, but you still have that line running over, so you may still have had the same situation. But in a stepper motor gauge where we can get those sensors in different locations completely, we get all that high pressure fuel out. So that's one big advantage to that style of gauge versus what's a traditional, inexpensive mechanical gauge. Yeah. There are some sanctioning bodies that require you to run a mechanical gauge and not a stepper motor style or a digital style gauge. And if that is the case where they do require you to do that, make sure you're getting that kind of an isolator where you're not letting that fuel get into the compartment anywhere.
Yeah. I did not have a fire suppression system, but I will definitely have that in there before I get back in the car. So you can see on the burns. I know it's graphic, but hopefully it scares somebody into being more serious about their safety. I ended up with second and third degree burns on my right hand, left elbow, and both legs. Both legs got third degree burns in multiple spots, which led to having skin grafts on my arms and legs, then had to have a second skin graft on both my legs that didn't take where the third degree burns were at. I spent a total of 21 days in the hospital and then another 3 weeks at the house of having to have my dressings changed every day, and then had to have my wife did all of that because I couldn't do it, and then she had to help me pretty much do everything in the house because I was not very mobile at all for about 2 months. It's been a little over 3 months since I had my accident. That's the style of window net. I don't know if you can't see it on the bottom right, but it's the mesh one. It's been a little over 3 months, and I still, about 50% of the time, struggle to walk. It's painful as hell all the time. I don't know if we have anything on my helmet, but the weekend that my accident happened, I've just always ran a standard bell helmet, nothing on it or anything, but my pit guy, Jake, that's a real good friend of mine, actually had bought me the skirt that goes on the bottom of my helmet, and we put it on there that weekend, and it prevented me from, the doctor saying, breathing anything in, didn't burn my neck at all, and I had on my seatbelts are almost gone. It was so hot. The helmet, I always have ran a 2-layer suit. I had a 2-layer suit on that night. It didn't even burn, really. There's a few holes in it, and I have it back here if anybody wants to look at it. There's a few holes right in my knees where the fuel was mainly at, but I don't have any burns from actual flames getting on me. It's just like Brad was saying, just the heat itself going through my fire suit. I didn't have a single flame touch me anywhere. It was just heat touching. My gloves don't have holes in them. It just burned everything off the gloves, burned everything through the suit. Nothing touched me, just heat. So definitely take the wearing the fire retardant underwear, double layer suit, everything, and taking care of it like they're saying, because it can definitely save you from ending up like I did. And I think that's all I had. So